Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of How to Graphic Design. I can see so many people in the chat. I want a thumbs up if you can hear me, please. We just had a Creative Cloud challenge and the audio wasn't really helping us there. So I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me here from my hand. The audio looks okay. Yeah, the audio is good. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Paco, for being there. I know I was gonna hope for your support, and we're good here. Welcome to Adobe Live. Welcome to a brand new how to graphic design. We're here every Tuesday to learn how to get your design done in a most efficient way every Tuesday together on Adobe Live. Of course, as I mentioned, we just finished a brand new stream with the creative challenges in Adobe Illustrator, and we're all super excited regarding the new features that are here from the Max release. So I'm talking about Illustrator 2023. I want to know in the house, how many beginners, how many intermediates do we have? I have so much to show you. This stream today is an introduction to Illustrator. In particular, also, we're going to be revisiting the features that we explored for the 2023 release. So we're going to be talking about Intertwine, which is a super useful feature, but also Share for Review, which we just seen. And I want to introduce you to some of my favorite tools. By the way, this stream is live, so make sure to take advantage of this time together. Adobe Live is always a safe space to learn together, so ask question. And if you do have a tool that maybe you would like to use and you do not know how to do so, well, how to is the right place for you to ask this question. Especially today, we're focusing on the entire application, so you can really dive in and use this time to ask me any question you want. Okay, so we have a few intermediate, a few beginner in the chat. Let me know. It's so important for me to understand how to do this stream at the best, so you guys can take advantage of it. Also, before we get started, I'm gonna jump real quick into my screen. And from here, I want to show you the way in which you can give me more tips about the episode here at How To, because it's really important. This stream is made for you, and therefore I would love to hear your feedback regarding what do you want to learn on not in general, not only in Illustrator, but in general regarding graphic design. So the way that you can do so is simply by heading on video. And from here, you have access to the how-to page. So iamkladi.com/how-to. You will be able to send me your design request. And now, of course, I'm asking you to do something. There is a prize. So this month, I have some t-shirt left over from Max, and I'm actually going to jump real quick into the landing page. So those are my t-shirts. Those are some Kladi t-shirts for Adobe MAX 2022 in LA. So I have a few of these left from the actual event in LA, and I thought, because you guys are so kind in giving me new features and whatever you want to display at How To, I'm gonna pick 2 people, 2, maybe 3, and if I'm gonna use your request, so try to be specific. I want to learn how to create a poster. I want to learn how to edit an image. I want to learn how to create a surreal composite, a book cover, a layout, a menu, whatever you want. Drop your request on iamkladi.com/how-to. I'm just going to show you the t-shirt one more time. It's a black t-shirt. That's the only color that I have available. It just features my logo and then the Adobe MAX 2022 LA little type at the end. So this is a limited edition. I'm happy to ship them all over the world because I know that we have this wonderful creative community that is worldwide. And by the way, let me know where are you watching from in the chat. All you have to do is head to my website and simply submit your request. I have a social link there. Make sure that is a social link that you use, because I will be contacting you if I'm going to use your tip. So again, you let me know what you want to learn, which one is your favorite app, and of course, your social link where I can reach out. And from there, I will be able to let you know if I'm going to use your request and therefore ship a t-shirt direct to your home. So hopefully you like these little change. This is of course part of the celebration of the Adobe MAX wonderful conference. And by the way, if you have missed Adobe MAX, I'm just going to show you one more time how to get to this form. So again, is iamkladi.com/how-to. This is the page, and it's very easy. The button is right there just at the beginning. Of course, you can have access to many free design. That's you will get right away a bundle as soon as you register. You have access to all the previous topics. So if you want to have an idea about the show and what we worked on, you will be able to watch the previous episodes there. But this is the button that you can click in order to receive your t-shirt and submit your proposal for an episode of How To. Okay, so hopefully everybody is clear. Give me a little heart in the chat if you like this option here of sending your topics. But what I wanted to say for those of you who didn't have the chance, or maybe are not aware of what the big deal with Adobe MAX is, Adobe MAX is this wonderful yearly conference that this year was finally back in person in Los Angeles. I had the chance to participate. I'm so excited. It's mind-blowing, the creativity, the keynotes. We have luminary and experts and the wonderful Adobe team that show us all and reveal us all the new feature of the 2023 apps. Susan, Hunter, thank you so much for your hearts. I can see Monica in the chat, Renu, the amazing Val that is here. Val, we're probably gonna play with some a poll since we're here together for 1 hour. Chantal, got some heart there. Robert, thank you so much. By the way, you guys are just amazing. I was looking at the chat before coming live and I can see that everybody is speaking Italian. Robert, I absolutely love it. You're solo scherzando? Are you just joking? That's so funny. The chat is in English, but of course, for those of you who do not know me, I'm an Italian designer based in Manchester, UK. So I do speak Italian, Spanish and English, but the chat is in English. Although sometimes we have my parents who sneak in the evening and they start to type in Italian. I think that's where it all started. But fantastic. So let's go ahead and start to jump inside Illustrator because there are a bunch of things that I want to show you. And actually, let's take advantage of the chat. Do you want to review Intertwine right away, or should we just start from the beginning? Again, this is absolutely up to you. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how you can access my sessions from Adobe MAX. And by the way, if you want to join and participate by submitting your requests for an episode, the amazing Val has shared the link in chat. So thank you so much, Val, for doing so. iamkladi.com/how-to to submit your request and have the chance to have your t-shirt shipped to your home directly from the Adobe MAX event. And if you want to watch and replay, the place is max.adobe.com. Both of the link. Okay, so everybody wants to start from the beginning. That was my plan. Perfect. Let's do that. And then we'll jump within, starting from the beginning, we'll also jump into the actual feature. Thank you so much for using the chat. If you're watching from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. The brand new Adobe Live channel will allow you to have access to all the replay of all the fantastic show that are just inspiring. And I watch them all the time while I'm working as well. I'm also behind the scene very often. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into Illustrator, and you're probably going to see the last document that I was working on, and we're going to do a little recap on that. So we've been working on Share for Review, doing the Creative Challenge, but as everybody wants to start from the beginning, I'm just going to go ahead and undo to bring it to its previous status. But before we even start to talk about any feature and anything, let's actually start from opening Illustrator. So we actually have a question. Richard says on how to making a pattern from Intertwine object. Oh my gosh, Richard, that's such a good one. I will definitely use the little form. Don't type them in here because here I can read it and I'll probably forget them. Use the form on iamkladi.com/how-to because that sounds like it's worth a t-shirt. And remember, if I will use your tip, you will get a t-shirt. So it's that easy. All you need to do is to inspire an episode of How To. And to say thank you, I will send the t-shirt back to you. We have Hunter saying, hi, Kladi, I'm a student and DSC in the digital media major. Congratulations, Hunter. I'm doing a project on UI, UX design. I hope you don't mind if I ask a bunch of questions. Absolutely. This is the safe place. Here at Adobe Live, we're here to learn together all the time. So this is the place to ask questions. I will do my best to answer. We have Steve and so many others that are part of the community. Val, we're here all to help each other. So feel free to pitch in. This is a community made for love for graphic design and love of these wonderful Adobe apps that make our job easier when we have to create. So RB is saying you can ask all the question here. Many people answer your question. Exactly, RB. That's the mood. That's the mood. Big hearts to everybody. So much love from here to you, from my house to yours, for participating and being part of this community. Again, if you're wondering if I don't answer your comments, maybe you're watching on YouTube, behance.net/live is the place where you can type your questions. But let's get started. So we open Illustrator, and from here we can see that we have this welcome on page, and this is the place where all the magic starts. The first thing that you want to do whenever you create any document you wish is to understand what is the purpose of your document. And by understanding and asking yourself, what am I creating for? You will be able to set up yourself for success. And when I talk about setting up for success, I'm just talking about choosing the right settings for your document, so it will be fit for its purpose. And I'm going to go ahead and start by clicking on a new file, or you can use the Control N on Windows, Command N on a Mac shortcut to have the new document window pop up. And this is the place where you're setting up your file for success. Let me go ahead and zoom in so we can have a look in detail about this new document. Specifically, I'm looking here at these tab, which are our intent tab. In fact, they will determine the intent of our file. Are we producing for mobile? Are we producing for web? Are we producing for print, film, video, art, illustration? Or we're looking to just start from a template? Illustrator is there to help us out from the get-go. In fact, when you kickstart your project, you can choose directly the different application. Now, if you choose on mobile, you right away have the different settings. So you have, look at there, iPhone X, iPhone 876, iPhone 876 Plus or not, iPad Pro. And if you select View All Presets, you have all sorts of resolution depending what are you designing for. Now, if you want to design for web, therefore you may be taking into consideration screen, presentation, and mobile, the best option will be to set your intent for print. And look what happened here. You have a new set of presets that you can use to jumpstart your project. And by the way, once you click on them, you will see that the preset details on this side of the screen will change. And therefore, we will have a change of size automatically, so you do not have to worry about the size of your document, because Illustrator will take care of that. And absolutely, feel free to ask your questions. This wonderful community is here to help. We're here together to learn together. I always learn so much from this stream myself. So what if you actually want to use Illustrator to create a file for print? Well, not a problem. You can go ahead and click on the print intent. And in this case, we will appreciate not only a change of presets, so you will have access to multiple presets. And again, if you click on View All Presets, you can see different sizes, which are the most common standard printing sizes available for you at one click. You will also have access at different templates available for free through Adobe Stock. So if you click on any of these wonderful, exciting templates, you will be able to see a preview, see also who the artist is, and also download it in order to jumpstart your project from a template. That is a great way to start in order to see all the different capabilities and options of perhaps a document ready for print. But a very important thing here, whenever we select a document ready for print, you will be able to also appreciate that our units will change. So let's go ahead and have a little bit of a look. If I go ahead and set my intent for web, the unit will change into pixels. And also the color mode will change into RGB, and the raster effect, the resolution, you can choose between a 72 ppi or 150 ppi. While if we change for an intent for print, we will be able to change to up to 300 ppi, which is the standard resolution for print. Of course, the color mode will change into the color mode that is a standard for print, CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and K stands for key, the key color of printing, which is black. So this is the color mode ready for a document for print. And that's why I'm talking about setting up for success. Thinking about what is your product for. Is it going to be printed on paper? Is it going to be screen printed? Is it going to be a sticker? Is it going to go on a website? Well, that will help you determine the way that you create the environment for your design to make sure that once you export it is ready to go and it's going to look absolutely great, so your client can come back for more because it's just going to make it easy for them. Okay, so we see that the main change between web and print are the unit, color mode, and raster effect. So the resolution of your design. So let's go ahead and start by creating for web. And here we can simply choose our 1080 by 1920. I like to create for mobile, but again, you can choose whatever sizes you want. Don't forget that the specific pages, or what are they calling Illustrator artboards, you can always edit them once you are actually opening your document. So I'm just going to use 1080 by 1920, which is going to give me a vertical resolution, so a portrait orientation for my document. I'm going to call this one How to Illustrator 2023, and then simply click on create. Once you do so, Illustrator will open up a brand new document, and because I want us to be on the same page, I'm going to go ahead and select my workspace, and I'm going to select essentials, and then I'm going to reset essentials to make sure that my workspace looks like yours. I don't know if you can hear the dog barking outside. Those are my new friends, Thomas and Tucker. They're outside. Hopefully you cannot hear them barking. Looks like they are playing in the garden, but I look forward to go and give them a cuddle for you. Let me know in the chat if you have any pets as well, because I'm a big animal lover. I have 2 cats. I've recently almost adopted a dog, my lovely River. Which is, they're all back in the UK, so I cannot wait to go and give them a cuddle really soon. So let's go ahead and keep focusing here on Illustrator, but let me know about your pets, because that's always fun to learn when we're here in chat. Also, welcome to everybody that is joining in. We are having an overview on Illustrator, and then we're going to detail into Illustrator 2023. Oh, Susan has a collie. Susan, where are you based? And where is your collie? What is your name? Carol, one smart cat, but love dogs. And by the way, can you let me know the names? Because I think the names for animals are so funny and cute. My cats are called Frida and Kalo, but they go by Free and Kiki. And then, as I mentioned, I have a dog in the office. It's called Bert, and he's a boxer. And then I'm also a mama to River, which is a beautiful Aussie Shepherd. So kisses to all my pets. Garrett Williams, 4 cats and 2 kids. That's a busy house. House full of fun, Steve is saying. I absolutely agree. Okay, so before we talk about the workspace in just a second, and if you were wondering while I was playing around, a workspace is the ensemble. So all the panels and the tools that you have inside Illustrator whenever you open a document. We're going to talk about that in just a second. And I cannot believe time is running so fast. There is so much that I got to show you still. Susan is in Newcastle. A UK dog is called Storm. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love the name Storm. Fantastic. So Carol is saying my cat is Goldie. Sweet. She used the toilet. Like the actual toilet? Like the human toilet? That's absolutely crazy. By the way, if you're joining this stream, we love to hang out here together, have fun while we learn. But since while we're having a little chat, I'm actually going to stop for a second and show you my IG, because if you're looking for quick tips, not everybody has time to hang out here. I totally understand. I love it. I love the community. But if you're looking for quick, fast tip and learn more about the apps, you can always join me on my Instagram. And if you see here, I have 1 minute feature. So if you scroll down, I have these weekly, looks like I went straight into my page here. I have a 1 minute feature. So if you're looking for a faster format, if this long chat fun is not, maybe you don't have the time for it, maybe you would like to join, maybe you just watch the replays, you are able to look at these 1 minute tutorials that are reels, and they're all about pretty much different tools. So this is something that we're going to explore. We're going to explore how to use the width tool in Illustrator. We're going to be doing this today together, but you will have the chance to do it in just one click. By the way, I can see a lot of comments. Thank you so much, everybody, for my sessions. That was very sweet. You can also see quick shortcuts in the different apps. If you're looking to learn more about my Adobe MAX, you can also head into my website. I've seen some question about Adobe MAX. Here, Adobe MAX 2022, you will have the link direct to my sessions just right there. It will take you to watch the replay to the sessions that are available for you. Which are for free, by the way. Both my Instagram content and the online Max session, this is all free fun stuff that you can watch in the meantime. Okay, so let's go back into the app. And we were talking about artboards. So whenever you create an artboard within your document setting, you are always able to change its size. So the way of accessing your artboard tool, you can do it in two different ways. You can go ahead at the bottom of the toolbar. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see the way that the little tool looks like. So it looks like a little square with a corner on the top. And you can go ahead and click on this tool, and will allow you to access the artboard tool. Or you can use the shortcut Shift Command O. There will be Shift Control O if you wish to access the artboard tool. By the way, it's just Shift O. Shift O. If you actually go into my Instagram, it tells you the right shortcuts, which probably I should study better as well. So Shift O is the shortcut to access our artboard tool. And you will see that once we use the Shift O or we click on the artboard tool, we have all these little bounding box that shows up in blue around the artboard. And by clicking and dragging on the side of this artboard, let's go ahead and zoom out, you will be able to modify the artboard freehand, just like so. So you can change the size as many times as you want. Or you can use the Alt key option if you're using a Mac and click and drag to create a copy or the artboard. Now, what if we do have any element here inside the artboard? Let's go ahead and add a rectangle. Well, if you use the Shift O artboard, you can always use the Option or Alt key to create a duplicate with your design. But what if you do not want to create a duplicate of your design? Well, you can always do so by using the artboard option. So if you actually head to your properties panel, once you have your artboard selected, you can choose if to move or not the artwork with your artboard. If you untick it, look at that, you can go ahead and make a copy and the artboard will stay where it is. So if you have an issue, maybe you want to move the artboard and not the artwork, this is the little tick that you will have to click on in order to do so, and vice versa. If you do wish to duplicate the artboard and the artwork, make sure to have it ticked, and of course use the Alt option little shortcut while you click and drag to create a double and a duplicate of both of them. Now I'm going to use Command Z, Control Z to undo all of this because I want to go back to where you started. And again, that's how easy it is to do and undo and to change as much as you want. Also, when you have access to the artboard tool, you will also be able to simply click and drag in order to create the artboard tool and add as many artboards as you wish. Okay, this is pretty fantastic. And by the way, artboard are the areas that will contain your design. So everything that is outside is called canvas, or pasteboard is an area where you can import different files. Maybe you can go ahead and draw and do whatever you want, but the white page, so the artboard is the part that will then get exported. Okay, so let's go ahead and create and let me show you with different options here. So let's start from the very basic because I think that is so super cool. So the main difference between using Illustrator than any other app is that we're working with vectors. Now the difference of working with vectors and a photo like Photoshop is that vector allow us to create scalable graphics. So I wish I had here my business card, but by creating your logo from, let me see if I have any quick access. I don't think they're here right now, but you will be able to create a logo and then use it on something as big as a t-shirt, as small as a business card, or as big as a billboard that covers at least as many floors as you want. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 floors. You can stretch it as much as you want. And this is the power of working of working with scalable vector graphic. And this is the reason why. Because when we work with images, we deal with pixels, which are physical. If you imagine your screen, those are the little squares that you have inside your screen. So if we go and stretch an image, we're going to start to see pixels. And let's have a look. I'm actually going to bring an image in. The best way of bringing an image in is to go ahead and select place. And from here, I'm actually going to go ahead and place, let's go ahead from Cloud document. Let's see that. I'm just going to go ahead and select this Cloud document. Now make sure that it's linked, and I'm going to show you some magic, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and select linked to select this document. And by the way, look what I'm doing here. This is a Photoshop file that I've saved inside Photoshop. And let me do that from scratch because we have an hour together. We have about other 30 minutes together. So show you a little bit of interoperability. We go from beginners to advanced in just a second, but I think it's nice. And I'm just going to play with the sky here. So let's go ahead and open the sky, and I want to make sure that it's in the right window so you can also see it. Okay. So what I'm doing here, it's simply opening, this is a Photoshop file. So you can open any image you want in Photoshop. And in this case, I'm just going to use the sky as it is. I'm going to go ahead and press Command S and make sure that I save this document into my cloud. And I'm going to call it clouds. And then I'm going to make sure that I save it inside to my Creative Cloud. Saving your document on a Creative Cloud will allow you to have so many benefits as access history of the document, access anywhere you want it, share it, and access it also from the iPad. Look at here, you have all the different options between saving your computer and cloud documents. You have offline access, you have cloud syncing, so you can access from all your devices, from iPad, from your mobile, auto saving. It will be part of Creative Cloud app, so your actually document are part of your Creative Cloud app, which you can download even on your phone. I was traveling from a plane, I had Wi-Fi on a plane. One of my team had needed access to one of the files, and all I did is open the Creative Cloud app on my mobile. Actually, I want to show you because it's so super cool here. I have my mobile next to me. By the way, you can see the picture of the lovely river here with me. And if you go ahead and select the Creative Cloud app, which looks like exactly on mobile as it does. Let me go ahead and jump on the big landing screen so you can see it here. So here it is. The icon is exactly the same as it is on your desktop. You will be able to launch it from your mobile and you have access to the file. So look what happens here. So those are the latest file that I have worked with. It just says recent. So if I now go back into my Photoshop file where I am saving these little cloud documents. So again, make sure to save to cloud document, and I'm going to call it clouds and click on save. Oops. Looks like that there is a little point on an empty space there. Let's go ahead and correct it. Okay. Okay, so we saved our document. And by the way, you can see that the cloud document has a specific feature. In fact, it has a little cloud here at the top of the file name and also has a little C at the end. And that tells us that the document is a document that is living inside our cloud. But what I wanted to show you here, and let's see, and let's hope that we can update that real quick. I've literally scrolled down and look what's happening there. We have our cloud that is just been added right now on my mobile. Let me go ahead here. You can probably see it a little bit larger. Here it is. So the document that we just created right now is changed into my recent. And what happens if we do actually change my document? So if I'm going to go ahead and select this guy and then press Command S to save, because it's saving directly into the cloud, I'm actually going to do this live because I think it's too cool. So look at this. All I'm doing is to scroll down to make sure that it updates. It's actually taking a moment to think, and you see, boom, it updated automatically, and you can share it with anyone you want by creating a link and share it with your team. This is such an amazing feature. But let's talk more and let's jump back into Illustrator. I have my Photoshop file here. Fantastic. It's saved into my cloud. I leave it open for a second, and I'm going to open up back Illustrator. So what I want to do here perhaps is to place this document. So again, let's go back and use a file. and place. And as I said before, all you have to do in order to access, you can use any file you want. Perhaps you can browse your machine and place any image you want from your machine, but you will have the opportunity to open a cloud document. And this is a Photoshop file. Again, I'm not using an image. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my clouds and click on place. And I can go ahead and use these as a background for my Illustrator document. Now look what happened. I'm doing this with you live, right? So I'm jumping into Photoshop real quick. And then here, I'm just changing, maybe let's go ahead and apply a gradient to this beautiful image. So let's go ahead and maybe apply, that's good. Let's do a gradient because this is also a brand new feature in Photoshop. So I can show you a little bit more. Although we're gonna have our next episode of how to that allows you to learn more about gradient and the new features of gradient. So let's go ahead. I actually quite like it like that. What you can do here is to choose whatever gradient you want. I'm just going to leave that for the sake of the example. If the difference is significant enough, so we literally added a gradient that fades into blue. And all I'm going to do is to press Command S, Control S to save the changes to my document. And look at here. Illustrator tells me right away that there is an issue. This file has been modified. So every file that you link to your document, remember, place, and we tick the little link at the bottom. If we go ahead into our window menu and we access our links panel, this is the place where all your external assets live. You can go ahead and use, look at that. We have a little orange icon that tells us emergency. I want to let you know that there is a little update available for you. So all you have to do is to click on this icon here where it says update link. And I'm going to zoom in because I want to show you the magic. By clicking once on this little update document, here it is. So we can make changes inside Photoshop, and these changes will be updated live inside Illustrator. Isn't that mind-blowing? Isn't that super easy to work with these apps together? You can do whatever you want inside your image. You can make as many changes as you want. So let's go ahead perhaps and add something here. I know that I have a little file that perhaps I could use. This wasn't planned, but I just think that it's too useful. So let's go ahead and have me sitting there inside the image as if I'm sitting on the cloud. Here we go. I'm just pondering the universe sitting on a cloud right there. Again, all I have to do here is Command Save after I saved my little file. And if we jump back into Illustrator, again, we're going to have the same little icon that let us know that we need to update. Select the image, click on the refresh update, and here it is. So we are moving and seamlessly between Illustrator and Photoshop. Let me know if you enjoy this feature. I think that's super amazing. And you can achieve that. And this is, by the way, just one image. You can do whatever you want here inside Illustrator. So this is a way in which you can work with the two apps together. And I think it's really mind-blowing. Let me know if you use these features before. You are having a live document, a live Photoshop document inside Illustrator. I just think it's mind-blowing. This is the beauty of working with cloud documents. I'm going to go ahead and delete this document for now, and I'm going to jump into this other part, which is creating by using shapes. So I'm going to show you two of my most popular online tutorial. Everybody's loving this feature. Let me know in the chat. I love the chat. I love you see when you guys get excited about features because that's where I get your feedback. So please let me know. And by the way, because we are off time already, I want to welcome everybody that has been joining us on the Adobe Live YouTube channel and on Behance. Don't forget to ask your questions, hang out with us. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you're watching from. We're here at How to Graphic Design. We're going to dive into Illustrator. We're going to show you some of my favorite features, but also a little bit more of the new release 2023. And anything else you want. That is the beauty of using the chat on behance.net/live in order to have perhaps any tools that you would like to use or anything that is not clear for you. You can use this time together to dive into it. And of course, I'm going to jump into a brand new topic that I want to show you, which is create using shapes. So the whole point, and actually I got all this because I wanted to talk about pixels. So I might should have kept that image there for a second. There we go. So while we work with pixels, and that's what I wanted to show you, if we start to stretch pixels over and over again, we're gonna start to have a pixelation. So let me just zoom out so I can perhaps give it a way larger zoom to the image. We're going to start to appreciate a pixelation of the image. And what happened there is that we're going to start to see pixels. So let's see here. There we go. Can you see there? So once we start to zoom in on the image, we start to see all the different squares that actually make up the image. And those are physical squares. So they are set to a size. Whenever you print something that is created, you really have to pay attention if you're changing it, if you're stretching it, because if you make it too large, all the jagged edges of the pixel will show up inside your printed item. Well, the beauty of working with Illustrator is to have access to vectors, and vectors are mathematical equations. They are basically exponential equations. So whatever you have in the specific point will do nothing but duplicate and scale itself to whatever sizes you want. And that's the reason why and how you will be able to achieve something like a print and have your logo into different sizes. And look at that, it's nice and sharp. Can you see the edge is so smooth? By the way, since I got my t-shirt here, for those of you that have just joined, don't forget that you can submit your request for how to. And for this week, whatever I'm gonna pick 2 or 3 specific topic, and you will be able to have my Adobe MAX t-shirt delivered to your door. The place of doing that is iamkladi.com/how-to. Submit your topic, and if you get picked, I will send the t-shirt directly to your house. Okay, so that was the whole purpose of showing you why it's so important working with a vector against pixels. Again, set up for your success, set up to work with whatever item you want. So let's go ahead and start to create some fun stuff using the vector. Another beauty of working with Illustrator is that we have access to live shapes. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select the rectangle tool, which is located inside the toolbar over here. And let me show you what you can do with the rectangle tool. So this is one of the most requested features that I have for Illustrator. Everybody wants to know how to draw a heart. So who am I to deny you guys these examples? So all you have to do is to click on the rectangle tool, click and drag. And actually, I'm going to show you 2 tools. I'm going to show you how to use shapes, also to use the shape builder tool. So how to put shapes together. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag to create a rectangle tool. If you want to create a square, don't forget to hold the shift key to constrain its proportions. In this case, I would like a rectangle, so I'm just going to click and drag over here. And you will see that whenever I create a shape with corner, I will then have access to the corner widget over here. So the corner widget are located inside your shape. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Oops. Bridge is trying to come and help us out. So I'm going to go ahead into the shape, and you'll see that these little icons that are located here are actually part of our shape. Just give me 1 second because I have Bridge starting up on the other screen. So let me quit it so I'll be with you right away into Illustrator. Oops. And here we are back. Fantastic. So again, all you have to do here is to click and drag of one of these shape, or you can simply click one more time to select one single corner of your shape, and you will be able to transform your corner from sharp into rounded, which is super cool. And that's what we want for our little art. Now, all we have to do is to select the shape by clicking on it, and then press the Command C or Control C on a window, and then Control F to create a copy and paste it in front. So Control Command C to copy, Control Command F to paste in front. And now I can hover on the corner of the bounding box of my shape and click and drag to start to rotate your shape. Hold the Shift key to rotate of 90 degrees. And what I'm left to do here is to start to move my shape to the place where I can see the heart. And perhaps, let me see if I dragged all the way through here. Let's go ahead. I'm probably going to make this shape a little bit longer. I think we need a little bit more shape for our heart, a little bit more length for our heart. Perfect. So again, I'm going to do the same, Command C, Command F, or Control C, Control F to create a copy. And once we rotate it, you can see that our art is already hiding there in between the shapes. So of course, those are 2 overlapping shapes. RP. Kladi, may I show the easiest and best way to make a heart? Of course. And of course, you will be using not only shape, but the shape builder tool. The shape builder tool is located inside the toolbar and is a gem of Adobe Illustrator. In fact, it will allow you to use any shape to create the blueprint of your design. You can select the images, and then with the use of the shape builder tool, again, I'm going to zoom in one more time so you can see the way that it looks like inside your toolbar. Here it is. It looks like two circles with an arrow on top. Is really, really cool. And you will be able to access this tool. And once you do so, you then all you left to do is to hover on the image. And the part of the image that you will be able to select are going to be highlighted. So in this case, I want to unite this semicircle, the square, and the semicircle to create the heart. And then I'm going to have to get rid of these other areas that are sitting outside. So let's go ahead and click and drag to start to unite and create the shape here. And you can see the heart already coming up. And if you do want to delete areas of your document, well, all you're left to do is to hold the Alt or Option key, and you will see, let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see the little arrow in detail. Once you press the Alt or Option key, the plus icon will change into a minus. And that is because you will be able to access the erase feature, the erase option of your selection of your shape builder tool. So let me zoom out a little bit so we can see what you're doing here. So again, shape builder tool allows you to add images in creating one single image and one single shape by uniting different shapes. So you're gonna build shape using multiple shapes as the blueprint of your design. And if you want to access the erase mode, use the Alt Option key and click it on the area or the path or the stroke that you wish to delete. And here we are. In this case, we created our lovely art. But there are so many other things that you can do here. You can double click on the fill icon, and if you want to change the color of your art, you can also use the stroke and perhaps set it to transparent if you maybe want to create something that doesn't have a stroke and just a fill. You can click on your art and use the shortcut Shift X to swap the color from the fill to the stroke at any time. You can see the little icon here is actually swapping in between the fill and the stroke, and of course you will see that happening inside your shape as well. So Shift X is the way of swapping the color from one to the other. If you just want to swap the selection, so here you can move between the fill and the stroke icon, simply use the X option. Okay, so let me show you how to create something else real quick. Maybe in this case, just simply using transformations and effect. I'm always going to start by a square. So look at the different things that you can do simply by using a rectangle tool. And here what I'm left to do is to head to the effect panel. And I'm going to go ahead to Distort and Transform. Again, I'm going to zoom in so you can actually see the way that this looks like. So the top menu is Effect, Distort and Transform. And we're going to have the Pucker and Bloat effect. This is what we're going to apply here. And with this little pucker and bloat pop-up menu, we'll be able either to create a little flower shape. So let's go ahead and create a flower first. There we go. Just like so, we can create a little flower if we want to do so by bloating the little our little square. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use, like I did before, make sure to press the letter V to access the selection tool, and then Alt Option key to duplicate and create a duplicate there. And if you want to modify this object, you can do different things here. So select the object and add to Window and Appearance panel. The Appearance panel is a very useful panel because it will allow you to access all the different properties and everything that you have to that specific shape. In fact, here you can see that right away, once we select our flower shape, we have our pucker and bloat effect absolutely showing through. We can use the visibility little eye icon to toggle it so we can go back to our live shape. That's why these shapes are called live. You can change them, you can resize them, you can change their corners, you can apply effects and do whatever you want with them. In this case, I'm going to make my pucker and bloat effect visible, and you can edit it by double clicking on it. And you can see the pucker and bloat effect will come back. And in this case, I'm going to go to the other way. So I'm going to go towards the pucker effect. And then whenever you're done, click on OK. And by doing so, we have created our little star. Look at that. And those are all squares. Isn't that incredible? Now, you can also combine this shape. In this case, I'm just going to create a duplicate and just simply rotate it here. If you want to create a little bit of a flower effect, you can always access the fill. And I'm just perhaps going to give it a different color. Look how cute is that. And maybe I'm going to make my star white, and I'm going to place it on top of my heart. So you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and use the lasso tool by pressing the letter L, or you can also find it nested inside the rectangle tool. So head to the toolbar, hold and click and hold in order to reveal the hidden tool. And you will see the ellipse tool alongside many other tools located under there. And very simply here, click and drag by holding the Alt and Option key if you wish to simply create a circle. So we have our little flower, our little heart, our little star. In less than 10 minutes, you were able to create and draw using Illustrator. But this is time to real quick introduce also our Intertwine tool. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into a little illustration that I've created for our stream, for our little stream during our creative challenge yesterday. But as promised, I wanted to talk to you about these brand new features here. And by the way, let me show you something else that is pretty cool. So as you can see here, I've simply copied and pasted a design from another Illustrator file. By the way, if you want to access this file in particular, you can always head to the replay yesterday, part 1, Illustrator 2023 brand new features, and this link is available for you. I think Val, you'll probably be able to share it in chat. If you head to my part 1 yesterday creative challenge in Illustrator, the link is still there available for you. That's the place where you can download this drawing. But what I wanted to show you here is that we talked about creating artboards and then using it to use it as a content placeholder for our design. But what if you have a drawing and you want to now create an artboard that fits perfectly to my design? Well, all you have to do is to click on the artboard tool, or again, Shift-O is the option to access the artboard tool. And look at that. I'm going to zoom in so you can see how quick is that. Click once on your design and you will see that Illustrator will create an artboard that is of the same size of your design. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to do the same here with the little heart. Again, Shift-O, click on the artboard tool and click on the heart. And you will see that Illustrator will tailor an artboard that is directly of the same color of your illustration. And I'm actually going to do something here. I'm going to combine this little illustration because I think we can add a little heart here. I think that's so cute. Perfect. Don't forget that you can always create copies of anything that you select simply by clicking and dragging and using the option key while you drag. And as you can see now, my drawing is actually hidden under my design. If you want to bring it to the top, use a shortcut Command or Control if you're working on a Windows machine, Shift right bracket to bring it to the very top. And what if I want to match this red to the actual red? Well, this is the time to pull our amazing eyedropper tool, press the letter I, and you will be able to, once you have selected your item, to click anywhere. Can you see? I'm applying any color I want from my artboard here. I actually kind of like it light, and maybe we can make change the color of our little sparkle as well, and we can make it, we can change the feel. By the way, if something like that happens, is because Illustrator is actually reading our star as a shape, as a square shape. If you want to use it just as a star, there is one more step that you want to do. So all you have to do is to head to Object and then Expand Appearance. And by doing so, you will see that the bounding box will change. So now that we go ahead and select a color, you will see that the color gets applied to the shape. Now, the only difference is that once you do this little expand, you won't be able to go back. So if you now go back into the appearance, you see that the pucker and bloat little option disappeared. If you go back to the one that we had on top here, which is still a square, the pucker and bloat effect is there. So it's up to you. Always make a copy before you commit, so then you will be able to edit as many times as you want. Okay, so now that we have our little illustration here with all the elements, we can start to reveal the beautiful Intertwine tool. I'm going to go ahead and trace my type as well. Again, you can trace the text anytime you want. I always make a copy again, click while holding the Option key. And by selecting it, you can add to Object, to Type, and then Create Outline, which is also the Shift Control O, also Shift Command O, Shift Control O if you're working on a Windows machine, in order to make sure that you can transform your text into a shape. Again, this is pretty much what we did before. We expanded whatever we add into an actual shape, and this will allow you to use your text as a shape. This is not undoable, so always make sure to make a copy of your text. And if you want to write some text, you don't know how to do so, don't forget to choose the Type tool and click and drag and start typing. Yeah, type here. Perfect. So that's a little bit more contrast. I'm just gonna find it here. So you can go ahead and use the Type tool to create new text. But what I want to show you is our Intertwine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create a little stroke. In this case, with the pen tool, I'm gonna click once to create an anchor point, hold Shift to create a straight line, and then Escape whenever you're done drawing. And again, I'm gonna use the shortcut that I used before, Shift O, to make sure that I change the color from the fill to the stroke. I'm just gonna go ahead and create a bright color here. Let's see if we have access to the color palette. I'm just gonna use this sand color here. Shift X to apply it to a stroke. And from the properties panel, you can choose whatever size you want to apply to your stroke, and maybe do something like apply a rounded cap. So our stroke has the little rounded cap there as well. Okay, let's go ahead and change the stroke so we can make it intertwine with our text. Probably if I make it pink, it will be a little bit better. We'll be able to see it a little bit better there. Or we can also use the eyedropper tool to eyedrop the color, and then again, Shift X to change it and move it from the actual stroke to the fill, so we can actually be able to see it on the actual fill there. Okay, so what I want to do here is to create a zigzag. Again, we're going to go to the effect panel and transform, and again, those are amazing way to use very simple line and shape to create anything you want. So again, zigzag will allow you to create a zigzag line. You can add as many ridges as you want, and you can choose the shapes of the ridges. And I'm going to go ahead and keep this one with these corners, and then I'm going to create a copy. Again, select and use the Option key. From the appearance panel, as I said before, whatever are the effects or transformation or anything, properties that are applied to your design, you will be able to preview it here from zigzag. Double click in order to change it here if you want some smooth line. So we have both options, and you can always from the properties panel or also the appearance panel are able to change the actual color of your stroke. Let's go ahead and make it perhaps purple here, or actually green. I like that green. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is that here with our wonderful brand new Intertwine, you're able to overlap your stroke, and that's pretty amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of these two strokes, and again use the letter V to use the selection tool, and then use the Option key to click and drag to make a copy. And then here I'm going to simply go ahead and overlap these two shapes just like so. Now we have the green shape that is overlapping the pink shape all together, so we can keep it on top, and if we want, we can use the Command Shift left bracket to bring it at the bottom. That's exactly what we did before. So let's make sure that we select the green. We can bring it to the bottom or bring it to the top. But what if I want to interchange, like I want to have a bit that goes above and a bit that I want to see the pink on top? What if I want to wave in these two lines? Well, in the past, we would have to outline it and then use, like we did for our art, when we created the heart, use the shape builder tool to break it into different paths and overlap them. And that creates a lot of different like little paths, which is fine when you're creating a general shape, but when you're intertwining object, it can become a little bit of a pain to actually work with that. But we have our brand new 2023 release with the intertwine features that will allow us to overlap any area as much as we want. All we have to do is to click and drag. Those are 3 steps. Stay with me. We have about 2 minutes together, and I really want to show you this amazing feature. So you can go ahead and select. Step 1, select the items that you want to overlap. Step 2, head to the object menu and then intertwine. And the first option that you have is to make. So you're going to create an intertwine with these 2 elements. Now you can simply click and drag whenever these 2 elements are actually overlapping. And let me zoom out so we can actually do it a little bit better here. Oops, let me zoom out from our image. I'm stuck in a super zoom. Here we go. That was quite of a zoom. So you can go ahead and use the intertwine wherever you want to make sure that you overlap simple area of your document. And if you're not comfortable using the lasso tool by clicking and dragging, you can also use the Shift key by clicking and dragging using a sort of marquee tool to select the area that you want to intertwine. Isn't that super amazing? So once you click away, look at that. We have our 2 strokes that are intertwined together. Now, once you click and drag, you will see that because they're intertwined, they will pretty much grouped. You have 2 options. You can click on it and then head back to object. And then from here, we can go ahead to intertwine and edit. And you can keep edit as much as you want. So you can bring this back up or send it back as many times as you want. And you can do that with always more than 1 object as well. So it looks like this is going to have to go down, and make sure to select the entire area. And this is up and this is down again, and you can create these movements. So we're literally creating a braid with our shape, which I think that is pretty exciting. Now, what if you change your mind and you perhaps want to separate these objects and you don't want them to be intertwined anymore? Well, you can always click on them and then select object, and then from Intertwine you will be able to release it and everything goes back to normal. And I'm going to go ahead and undo this because I'm probably going to crash Illustrator. We have 1 minute, but yes, I'm going to do that. So you will be able to intertwine also your shape with the text. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring one of these two line into my Illustrator. I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to show you how you can do that using the text and the shape. Again, select them, object, intertwine, make, and simply drag over the area that you wish to intertwine. So even here with the text, look how cool it is. We can have our little stroke that goes in and out our letters. Isn't that super amazing? I think that's really, really exciting. Unfortunately, it really is time to say goodbye. What I wanted to do is to try to intertwine to intertwines. I'm not sure that's even possible, but I think that I'm going to use take advantage of this 30 seconds that we have to try that. So here I have an intertwine and here we have an object in Illustrator. This is the beauty with the brand new features. You want to perhaps try experiment with them. So here I have an intertwined and I'm going to try to create an intertwine with the text. It looks like they will have to release it first and then we do it object from object. Perfect. So we learn, as I said, always something together. Unfortunately, it is time to say goodbye. I've been here together with you with the Illustrator Challenge. I'm going to be back tomorrow with the Illustrator Challenge and more how-to graphic design back here every Tuesday on Adobe Live. Don't forget to go and grab a glass of water. We have the lovely Annika streaming from Canada, which hopefully I'm going to see very soon coming up. And don't forget to give suggestion for a brand new episode of how-to graphic design to win the Kladi t-shirt from Adobe MAX 2022. That's it for today. I look forward to see you tomorrow, everybody. Thank you for being here with me and ciao, ciao for now. Bye.